for it seems. But everybody, we're gonna get started with game number 1 already. See legit on the Petrolite.
It's gonna be more important than throwing your weapon, try to get another snare, and that can be a great way to start. But now we got the Gauntlet Ditto. We're gonna see how well this fares up, but I'm gonna go there. There's a lot of times he starts with a side light and he's able to catch that into an N-Sig or maybe even another Nair snare on its own. Legit really been caught by a lot of that stuff. It's really been a lot more
Nice and patient on the stage. See legit able to get that side light, and now we're back to having a Gauntlet Ditto. But how do you make it back onto the stage? The answer is you do not.
putting C in these very
I did love See Legit's Orb. See Legit's Orb just did a really good job of keeping Sandstorm out. That is the weapon that I felt like they were the most comfortable with. But then Sandstorm just catching See Legit off stage a little bit too long, being a little too patient.
Their way back. Like we said earlier, Storm has been having a bit of a hard time finding some of these confirms. It ends up being a stray Sair to
then able to cover. So going into game number 3 here, Sandstorm is of course at advantage. See legit able to get that huge sider into a little follow-up. You caught the recovery though, and now this is what happens when you use your resources off stage. That is what it feels like to
confirm. Storm chooses not to reverse and instead takes his first opening to try and recover back to the stage during that one moment. Sair sends at the funny 45. Now we got the guy on practice.
To actually connect. Sandstorm, are you going to be able to get this edge guard? You do the weapon toss. Doesn't actually connect the D-Light either. But at this point, I mean, See Legit has just a mountain to come back from. Sandstorm gets that N-Light, gets that weapon toss. That's the juicy side light into the recovery off stage as well.
What if we ran it back? And then doing it again the second stock and getting away with it? Potentially a third time? No, backing up.
Nice recovery from Sandstorm to bring it a little bit closer. It's not, you can never count out Sandstorm. He's the GOAT. Sandstorm going for that all in on that ground pound, eats 2 unarmed recoveries forward, and the Gauntlet recovery comes in. Bunny just 2-stock Sandstorm and struggling to find KOs for Sandstorm. Bunny is just all too aggressive though, not giving Sandstorm any chance. It doesn't matter if I'm high damage, if I don't get hit again. Sandstorm with a nice neutral light into recovery to even up the stocks, and already
oh, look at that. All of a sudden, Bunny's in the red and just getting redder. That side light almost sending off screen just by itself. Being very careful on how quickly she returns over to the wall. Wall slip coming in. Okay, didn't come into effect there. You saw the 2 out of 3 exclamation points. In that case, throwing a lot of D-lights out as well, throwing a lot of in-lights out. I don't think we're going to see too many side lights coming out. Oh, no! Just like that, the ground pound.
Let's look for those pop-ups into the recovery or an offstage play as Sandstorm has the wall too. Bunny gets the side light, no recovery. Bunny with a chance, but Sandstorm catches through the weapon toss anyway.
Moving back as Bunny came right over the corner. Now Bunny's gonna sit on center stage here, but it still felt like Sandstorm was in control.
But Sandstorm is just in a great spot. Bunny's just burning resources, trying not to get clipped. I think they touched the stage. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And Sandstorm on the gauntlets now just needs to find it. Touches with the gravity cancel. Haymaker, but the tap in catches nonetheless.
To potentially like call it the spot dodge, so the iframes are gone. Nice, D-Sig grabbing, sending behind. Second stock was like Sandstorm would find a hit on the scythe, and then she would immediately find a hit back. Oh, that was so close.
This is a big reversal, the recovery into the side air. Can you find the down? Sandstorm doesn't get the nair, and another 2-stock. Game 1 was a 2-stock where Bunny won. Game 4, a 2-stock
race that started, or that really in general starts at the beginning of every set with 2 pro players like this. It seemed like Sandstorm started to plateau last game, but now he's back on the rise up. There's fuel in the gas tank.
It might be a matter of just playing the matchup of Scythe Axe much more efficiently as Sandstorm. That high speed to continue to smother and actually disarms Bunny. Another Gauntlet's online here. The sweat beads come out and Sandstorm catches with a side air, but this is exactly the arms, and this is exactly what Sandstorm needs.
That'll do it right there in game 5. Sandstorm clutches it out. Important to do.
Grab the weapon yet? No, definitely not. Finally gets the Katars though. You're saving grace potentially as Sandstorm gets another side air and covers the weapon toss jump recovery attempt with that ground pound as Sandstorm moves up with the stock. Exactly that. And I mean, as much as the cannon has been connecting, Sandstorm's looking to lap Weechabu, not only with the stock, but with the damage. Okay, neutral light into recovery, doesn't connect. Weechabu looks to find a downlight, and that's a 3-stock to 1 lead. Doesn't go for the weapon star, but actually punishes the weapon pickup, which might prove fatal here. The recovery doesn't KO, but Sandstorm in a great spot.
There it is.
Finds the next one to tap it in there.
Contact with. I don't know if he has a follow-up in mind after that from the bounce pass. Like regularly people will, if they do like the nair that we just saw, they'll go for like the side air, or they'll just wait to see what their opponent does. There's the side air. Ooh, and the bonk on the head to confirm it. Absolutely, Sandstorm.
About the keeping the weapon starving forever, yeah.
And also with Guichabu, whoa, he recovered the other direction, gets caught with a strong D-Light. That's going to be the stock there. And one of the things, like with Sandstorm throwing his weapons away, the D-Light and the gravity cancel neutral heavy.
This is what you were talking about, where if Guichabu attempts the weapon starve, you lose the Qatar you had built up. Cannon is now next in your rotation. You're not going to get there, as that's a JV3 for Sandstorm. That's a JV3 off of it.
Oh,
that was the read.
Recovery,
Every Gauntlet player got excited there for a second. That's the read we're looking for.
He was still trying to show respect. Nice bonk on the head.
No!
If Guichabu turns this around, robbed it right out from underneath. But to throw towards that skybox instead of going for the dunk over the edge, just because you couldn't get to the edge at that point based on how centrally on the main platform he ended up hitting it.
Sandstorm's been all too perfect on those last hit scramble situations. The
disarmed, the weapon starving coming through.
This should be it.
There's
if
the
Sandstorm
side
can
air,
find it.
bounce off the main stage, went for the GCD light. Okay, gets interrupted.
Oh, wait a minute. The dodge gets expended. Guichabu tries to continue the pressure, but Sandstorm with a recovery on the gauntlet moves on into winners finals.
He'll touch the wall. It's a minute and a half into this game, over that now, and he still hasn't found the KO until just now. 136 into this game, and he's still halfway through second stock. If you're stuck on the ground and just running in after the active frames, we saw the attempt at the big foot from the bird to come out. Bonk on the head, recovery comes out, and there's the closer from Sandstorm. From the boots, we did see some fishing for the recovery, just raw, no setup into it, anything like that. Radish still, Sandstorm, something that he's been doing today that I love so much is the weapon starving game, but Radish is finally able to grab it, and that's gonna be it right there. The setup, that was Radish's combo 2-drop, of course, onto the orb that he has, unless there's a lot of room for him to play with and set up the next orb. Damage coming out, that's gonna be the stock, turning it around with the active input, and Sandstorm in a great spot here. Much quicker time to counter punish what was coming in from Radish. There's the side air. Again, he doesn't use the active input to like follow Sandstorm in that same direction. He wants the greater force stomp with the attempt for the KO. Now a 2-stock lead here for Sandstorm.
Weapon throw gonna hold the direction that Radish is allowed to escape.
He gets it. He picks it back up. No, but exactly what you were saying earlier is like that's what me and PJ determined earlier is you throw game one.
Yes.
And then you win the set. Somehow, that's the way it has been going to end in the air when you're the Mordex player there, but Orb has so many options that will pick you up out of that. I don't know if that was a bait, and he expected Radish to back up. He still does ultimately find the first stock here. You chatters, certainly one more will do it here, even without the sideline setup. There is the D-Light into the recovery from Sandstorm. Downlight, that went very deep into the bush. Sandstorm looking to close this one out. Is he going to throw a side stick over the corner? Oh, that was a deep downlight. That went very deep into the push-off column, ending it with a side light, sending to the blast zone. Sandstorm now up 2-1.
Nice against this Mordex from Sandstorm. Boots on his feet now. Needs to rack up a little more damage. He almost had Sandstorm in a knockout range, bro. Can he 3-stock the GOAT right now?
No shot.
No shot? No shot? No shot? Look! Can he 3-stock the GOAT, Sparky?
Going high, the weapon toss down. Spot dodge from Sandstorm. Radish floating high. Still able to get the weapon. Side air's the wrong direction. It gets caught by a side air from Sandstorm.
Sandstorm needs this knockout right here so bad. There it is. Easy Sair, easy life. Gonna go ahead and take that stock. Radish gonna toss
the weapon out in time, but I guess Radish was just too quick with it.
Sandstorm trying to put down a good edge guard here. And absolutely to perfection, looking for the option. Absolute optimization off of that exchange right there, off of that interaction. Dancing his way here through center stage. Sandstorm's being very, very patient now, looking for the perfect opportunity. Oh, that weapon throw, that egg drop came down when it hit him. There is Sandstorm. Gonna go ahead and clean that up with a very decisive 2-stock victory.
That the recovery stage spiked in because it hit at that 45-degree angle. If it just hit the vertical wall, Sandstorm probably would have been okay. So that's just really unlucky for him in that moment. Nice punish there. I was expecting something bigger on the on-stage punish. Here. Glad you're enjoying this gameplay here, the Trial of Skadi. Sandstorm, again, dude, he's waking up with the Gauntlet ground pound out of hit stun from Guichabu. Does get the KO there. He's only about 50 damage behind. Work today with his cannon as well. I don't know if he's going to be searching for that weapon spawn when it comes out. Throwing that cannon down. Sandstorm throwing his weapon away as well. Now has to continue with the Katars, but he grabs the D-Light into the gravity cancel, neutral heavy, unarmed, and gets the KO and secures game 1.
Damage down in center stage, gonna try and catch Guichabu up in the air. The sweat beads are out. Sandstorm just threw it in the wrong direction.
Okay, does get the side air there, finally stripping the field. I was wondering if he was going for it. Gets the jump side air. Then being here on Apocalypse, there's a D-Light over the corner. I was waiting for it. Sandstorm was... Sandstorm. Dude, that Insig was a really bold choice for Sandstorm to go to, because like it leaves you up there. That's like perfect recovery territory. He drops the D-Light recovery!
Okay.
I honestly don't know if the D-Light recovery would have KO'd.
It doesn't matter.
Lore, baby. Exactly.
Yes.
Now, two people who are not on the same team is Sandstorm and Guichabu. And if they were on the same team and I was Guichabu, I'd be very mad.
He did 50 less damage than I expected out of him. I'm never going to play with him again. Sandstorm throwing that signature out there, but Guichabu as well. Nice. A punish from a Sandstorm. Knock him out.
What, like one more, right? Surely.
I mean,
surely one more has got to do it. And there it is. Sandstorm is your Trial of Skadi North American champion.